Hello, I'm Caitlin Barrio, and today on Verona Star, I will be interviewing Lady Capulet. She has just found out that her only daughter, Juliet, has died, and on top of that, so has her nephew, Tybalt. Let's welcome Lady Capulet onto our stage.
Hello, Caitlin and audience, and now I'm ready for my interview.
All right then, let's begin. Lady Capulet, how are you coping with all of this awful news?
Well, it is a bit overwhelming. Within just a span of 2 days, I've lost my only child and my only nephew. It's depressing me, and I don't know what to do with myself anymore. Everyone here in the Capulet family is very upset over these deaths, but I know that together we can get through them.
That is very moving. I've heard some rumors that now that Romeo is dead, that the Capulets and Montagues are trying to fix this feud. Is this true? If so, why so suddenly?
Well, you are correct. These rumors are true. The Montague and my family have been trying to fix things between the two families for a while now. We have realized that we have been fighting over very small and unimportant things, and now that both our children have passed, it has helped us realize how childless we were really acting.
How did the death of your children help you to realize that the feud needed to be resolved?
Well, I know that my family has been trying to fix this feud earlier on, but those Montagues wouldn't budge. We kind of ended up together because Juliet and her Romeo died together and for each other. We noticed an opportunity to end the feud, and so we did. I think these deaths help put both our families realize that our feud was causing multiple deaths, and that we felt guilty that our childish feud has caused many children to die, especially our own.
Wow, this is all such a turnaround. In a good way, of course. Have your families decided to make statues of each other's children, or is this a rumor?
This is also true. Our families have felt very guilty that we caused each other's children to die, as I've already said. In honor of that, we are putting up some statues of gold of Juliet and her Romeo to recognize the unity and the strengths that have brought together our two families.
This is also exciting, but have you learned anything new from this situation? If so, what have you learned?
I would say I've learned quite a lot about myself from this incident. I have learned that I need to be more careful and accepting of others so that nothing like these two deaths ever happen again. Our children are in love, and I feel awful that I held back my daughter from her destiny. It makes me feel as though that it's my entire fault that she passed away. I wish she could have lived a longer life, and she felt like she could have come to me and not keep these secrets like she did with Romeo.
Do you say that you wish she told you about Romeo?
I do.
How do you think you would have reacted if she told you?
To be completely honest, I think I would have been extremely angry. At the time that they fell in love, our families were still enemies. I would have been mad at her and I would definitely not have let her marry him. I think that if she did tell me now, though, and give me time to think about it, they would both still be alive, and this feud would have ended easier. I also think that this would not have caused the death of my children and of Romeo and my nephew.
Do you think that Juliet and Romeo should have gotten married, or was it all just a silly idea?
Well, if you asked me this question a little while ago, I would have said that they should have never have gotten married. But now that I think about it, and if I had said no and they had passed away, I would have felt it would have been all my fault. As you know, Julia is not only my only daughter, but she's also my only child, and I would do anything to make her happy. If she needed to marry to be happy, to marry Romeo to be happy, I would never have told her no. And if I did, I would feel awful about it.
How do you feel about the Montagues now that we've tried to fix the feud?
Well, I'm a little careful about trusting them because of the recent feud we had, but overall, I still think that they're very lovely people. I wish that this feud I wish we never had this feud in the first place, as it's caused a lot of trouble for the people and that should have never been involved. Therefore, I believe that the Montagues are very lovely people and that both our families, being both lovely, will get along better.
How do you plan to move on from Juliet and Tybalt's death?
It's definitely going to be difficult to move on because I love those two very much, but I know I can move on. I will still think about them every day, but I'll move on. I believe that the Capulets, working alongside with the Montagues, we will get through this upsetting together now that we are finally friends to each other.
I'm going to ask one final question.
Okay, go ahead.
Were you ready for the feud to end, or do you think it should still be occurring? Why or why not?
Well, I'm kind of in the middle on this. On one hand, we've been fighting about such childish things and we should stop, but then on the other hand, this feud has been occurring for some time now, so why should we stop now? The opinion that is slightly stronger is getting over it. We have been fighting for a long time, but over something insane to hold on for so long. So I am glad that this feud has ended. I'm ready to make friendship with all these Montagues and them to make friendships with us.
Wow, all this information is so important. Thank you so much for coming today.
No problem. It was my true pleasure.
Everybody, that was Lady Capulet. Thank you for watching the Verona Star. Tune in tomorrow where we will speak with Emily Cossett and Juliet Capulet.